Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's your weekend market brief here at Top Gun Options. Didn't knock out a Friday market wrap up because I posted a clip on Thursday about a Ty Beckley being bought by Eli Lilly. Man, what an absolute clown car and train wreck. We'll dig into that in a little bit, but just absolutely heartbreaking. Two U.S. troops killed in an attack on our base in Jordan. One's missing, and that's usually never a good sign. So God bless their souls. God bless the families who got a knock on the door. My oldest son's on active duty in the Air Force, and it's sad. But folks, this is war. If the radical Islamic regime in Iran could sink the Abraham Lincoln, for example, and kill 5,000 Americans, they do it in the blink of an eye. The fact that there hasn't been more losses to date is a testament to our young men and women on the tip of the spear and our defense systems. But our buddies in China and Russia are providing laser targeting, and they are getting our troops killed. But folks, we're fighting a proxy war against Russia too, aren't we? Right? We're giving pretty laser-like intel targeting in Ukraine to kill Russians. So it sucks. I hate this, but this is the strategic brief I always give, whether it's with these folks. Look at Ukraine, man. Ukraine's hitting the Amazons in Russia. They're called wild berries. These logistic hubs, man. So let me end with this. This is going to get worse. Whether it's Ukraine or it's Iran, this is just it's worse. And that means we're most likely going to see a pretty big leg down here. Wednesday night in that full throttle training, what did I cover? A trade that acts like a hedge. What do we get on Friday? A violent move down. So hopefully everybody closed that bearish trade. 1.5, I think it was about 1.5% drop in the S&P 500. That's a violent move. So man, we are laser-like with this stuff, whether it's nailing the Atai acquisition or putting on a bearish trade that acts like a hedge, a trade Wednesday night in free full throttle training, and then a day later the market implodes. We're having a blast here at Top Gun Options. I don't like necessarily the underlying reasons why we're making money, but if you want a friend, get a dog. And at No Fallen Heroes, we're standing by for these families. We're standing by for these young men and women when they become veterans, when they leave. A lot of these rocket attack folks, if you've seen the videos online, man, TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. And you know what can really help with traumatic brain injuries? Psychedelic assisted therapy. I've seen it firsthand, folks. So I'm here. We are here ready to receive these folks. Sadly, when they get home with these injuries. So I pray for peace, man, and I truly hope that happens. Hey, so right now I'm getting, as soon as I do this sit rep here, situation report, I'm going to blast out a brand new AI infrastructure sector report to my tactical trade alert members. Man, we have a lot of stuff going on in the AI sector. Look at this. The AI backlash has tech executives fearing for their lives. Man, this is sad. Violent threats against AI companies are rising and spilling over into real-world security incidents. Go watch the movie Transcendence with Johnny Depp. I mean, I forget how many years old that movie is, and man, it really predicted what's going on right now. Go watch Transcendence with Johnny Depp. I fear that's where we're heading. AI chip startup Etched is in talks for $20 billion valuation. Isn't it interesting that Anthropic kicked their IPO to next year, 2027, because stuff going on? We're going to dig into that. China Xi touts open source AI and takes a swipe at U.S. dominance, man. We start getting into these price wars, it's going to be a race to the bottom in the AI sector. Speaking about the AI sector, before I forget, on July 27th, at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's going to be next Monday, not tomorrow, the one after that. At 10 a.m., I'm going to open up the doors to our regular Solo AI member brief to the public, because gearing up for earnings, man. We got the Death Star, Amazon earnings coming up. These earnings in the AI sector on deck, it's either going to there is no going to be level. It's either going to be these things are crushing it, everything's great, or oh my God, everything sucks, and it's going to be look out below. I don't care which way because I can make money up, down, or sideways. But here's where you need to register. Go.topgunoptions.com/solo-AI-live. And hey, Wiz, I work next Monday at 10 a.m. Make sure you register. I'll get you access to the replay. But here's what you're going to get for opting in. The report I am blasting out to my members only, the AI Supercycle report, I'm going to give you a copy for free. This is probably a $5,000-ish report. When I was helping to build a hedge fund, volatility arbitrage hedge fund up in Chicago, our high net worth folks got this. If you weren't a high net worth folk, you had to pay for this, man. Thousands of dollars this report is worth. It's got my current positions on there in the sector, and we're going to take a deep dive. So make sure you register. Go.topgunoptions.com/solo-AI-live. We're going to have a lot to talk about next Monday. Men lie, trades don't. Here's my portfolio account, 8465. Year to date, man, up, if you'll allow me to round up, 54% return year to date in 7.5 months. How's the S&P? 9. How's the NASDAQ? 8. How's the Dow? 6. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm crushing the S&P 500. Was that a factor of 6 times? Do you know that most fund managers, hedge fund managers, try and beat the S&P 500? Who was it? Mr. Wonderful in an interview recently. He's like 90% of hedge fund managers or fund managers can't even beat the S&P 500. Well, you're looking at one of the, I guess, the 10% who absolutely routinely destroys the S&P 500. Go look at a top performing hedge fund, folks, and tell me what their year-to-date return is. And I guarantee you it ain't that, man. So like I said, we are having a blast trading this volatile market. Like I said, bearish trades. And we're also going to talk this week on Wednesday in our accelerated retirement brief about this. This is an absolute disgrace. What? I thought you'd be happy a big pharma bought a psychedelic company. Thrilled with that. But Christian Angermeyer, one of the largest shareholders, clearly the guy was getting his rear end handed to him with crypto losses. That's one of his other forays, and needed the cash. Good on Eli Lilly for lowballing the hell out of this. I've spoken to a ton of shareholders, folks with a lot of shares, who are furious at this. This Spravato, folks, S-ketamine for Janssen, is about a $2.8 billion product a year. And it's not that effective compared to what Atai was coming up with. I get it. It hasn't done phase 3. They're kind of buying it. They're buying a call option here, right? Eli Lilly's buying a cheap call option. But man, if you believe in this stuff, absolutely got destroyed. The Atai deal, very, very bad. And we learned this week, or I taught some folks this week, about 95% of options are what? Never exercised. You trade out of it. This was the one time you needed to exercise your call options, because the day of, last Wednesday, I did a synthetic stock on Atai years into the future, out to Jan 28. We bought some $5 calls. Well, guess what happened when this deal got announced and the stock popped up over $7? What did you need to do? Exercise. Folks, remember, buying a call option gives you the right, not the obligation, the right to buy these shares at that price before expiration, that date. Ladies and gentlemen, you exercised your fives and you got over $2 in profit in the blink of an eye. So a lot of folks needed some remedial options training this week. I'm like, what are you doing? This is how you handle that. So, but we're going to talk about this on Wednesday in our accelerated retirement member brief. They screwed the rest of the sector. It's not fatal, obviously. I hope Compass and Definium and Helix don't do this. I hope they sit there. I hope they go, the FDA approval and these stocks explode on their own and they don't get bought by Big Pharma, or they do get bought by Big Pharma for a ton of money, unlike Atai. Atai, not happy with Angermeyer, or however the hell you say his name. He needed the money, and he screwed his shareholders. My love letter to psychedelics and humanity's future. It was a big word salad for him, and I wrote that, right? Dude, instead of reposting this everywhere, just address the question everybody's asking, which is the price and why it was so low. Because he was getting his, you know what, handed to him with crypto losses, bravado, annual sales by itself. So there's either something seriously wrong with a tie and what they're doing, or someone needed the cash. Either way, investors were getting screwed. I need to either way. So anyway, folks, I'm really bullish on the sector. Obviously, I've seen it. I've told you, psychedelics have saved and changed my lives, and we heal our heroes with these at home, veterans, first responders, and families. Okay, so if you go opt in right now, I am creating a brand new, as of this morning, AI Super Cycle report, and that's usually members only, but I'm going to throw that in there as a bonus if you go register for the brief on July 27th at 10 a.m. Go.topgunoptions.com/solo-AI-live. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on. Namaste. Wiz out.